Greetings my furry friends and welcome to a review of a guitar, and this particular guitar happens to be a BadCat AlbinoDroid. This is actually a prototype which I was lucky enough to grab from the awesome Patrick Hufschmid. Patrick is an astounding luthier. He works in a wine cellar in Switzerland and does everything by hand. And when I say does everything by hand, I mean he literally doesn't use anything but his hands. It's almost like they're made of sandpaper or something. He uses saws and files, that kind of thing. No CNC. This was hand carved from a bit of a tree, and that piece of tree became an amazing AlbinoDroid. This particular guitar comes with hand-wound Kent Armstrong humbuckers, which are particularly incredibly good. I have to say I'd never heard Armstrong pickups before. Very impressed. They're just clear. You can hear everything. You can whack a ton of gain on it, and you hear the gain, but you hear the tone as well, which is a really good thing. Superb construction throughout the entire guitar. You can't fault it anywhere. I mean, you really can't. He's meticulous. He's one of these guys who you send him a tracing of your hand at the beginning when you order a guitar, and he works from the tracing of your hand. He looks at the shape of your hand, the size of your hand. He takes everything into account. Got this really cool BadCat string thing. I don't know if you call it string slip or whatever. It's great. It really is. Maple board, Sepo mahogany body. They're all custom made, so you can get what you want really if you just contact him. Now, if you're going to go out and buy a BadCat, you're probably a metal player, and I'm betting you're going to order a 7-string. But I beg to differ with the application of this guitar. You can play anything with it. This is a maple fretboarded mahogany body piece of whim. You can play blues, country, rock, or metal. You really can. It's not just a metal guitar. And just to show this, here is a backed off, slightly crunchy tone with a bit of blues. So here's the neck humbucker. And here is the bridge humbucker. is the in-between setting. Now, many of you guys have been asking me to teach the second half of the City Will Burn riff, and so I thought I might as well just do it now because I've got the camera out, why not? So here's how you play the second half of the City Will Burn riff from my band, Monkey Lord. So, it's like this. Little finger on the 10th fret, my first, oh that's the E string, my first finger is anchored to this 7th fret on the A string. By the way, I'm using 12 to 56, I'm down tuned a great deal, I think it's that tone. I normally play this in E flat. So it goes like this. I'm going to use a little finger to play this 10th fret. I'm then going to pluck the 7th fret A. So, I then play the open E string. And then I bring the little finger up to the 10th fret A. Back to the first finger, and then E string again. So far, I'm always referring back to the open string each time. And then I'm going to go E string, 10th fret again, first finger. That's the first part done. So that's the question, if you will. Now I pick this varying different ways depending on the mood I'm in, but that's basically how it's done. The answer to this question is this. I bring my third finger to the 9th fret on the E string and I go, so that's 9th fret E, 7th fret A, and then always the open E afterwards, and then I finish with a little finger on the 10th fret A string. So the whole answer is this. So the question was, answer. Then I got these two funky chords. I got myself a G sharp 4, which is 3rd fret E string, 4th fret A string, which I'm going to resolve to a perfect 5th, or a power chord you might want to call it. And then I go for this A major 3rd dyad, which is a 5th string E, 4th string A, which I turn into a 4th by bringing my 3rd finger down behind the 2nd, like this. So those two chords are. Now I return to the riff I previously showed you, but I add a bit of a difference to the way I'm playing it. So rather than going, I chop it up Megadeth style. Now, rather than just teach this note fret by fret, which will just take forever, I'm going to play it really, really slowly, and I want you guys to work it out by ear, which is the key to being a great musician, other than lots of money, drugs. Here it is to speed. And there you have it. Something else I'm asked an awful lot is, how do you write riffs? And I thought the best answer to that is just to write one on the spot for you. So here we're going to go. I'm going to pick a key. I'm going to pick my restrictions. So I'm going to pick a key. I'm going to pick an area. I'm going to pick a scale. I choose G. I choose down here I choose blues. So. So restrictions, I'm going to restrict myself even further. I'm only going to use the bottom 3 strings. Now, I'm going to allow open strings, but I'm only going to use these fretted areas. So I'm finding my way around the pattern, seeing the notes I can use, listening to what comes out. I'm just playing with it and playing within limitations. There's my riff, and I'll just put this in Monkey Lord now. That's what I do. By the way, I didn't write that beforehand. This just came naturally. I thought I'd just try it and see what happens. You know, you just have to limit yourself and create more and more limitations, and limitations force you to overcome the issue of limitations by being creative. And that's all it is, it's being creative. So the lick I've just invented it. I always think a great lick or a great riff should feel easy to play, should feel natural to play, it should sound badass. That fulfills the criteria. Thank you very much. Chappers out. And now go and buy a Hufschmid guitar.